Lights are on.
Just as a reminder, we're all being recorded.
Yes, yes. Yeah, boy. Good evening. We are here for the March 9th Lincolnville Select Board meeting. It is 6 p.m.
Where am I hearing that?
That's coming through this laptop over here. Mike, could you read the quote for the evening?
Yeah, I think so, sure. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it'll take to accomplish. The time will pass away. Earl Nightingale.
Thank you. Let's give him a chance. Yes. First item up is the citizens forum. If anybody that has a non-agenda item they'd like to step up on. First right here, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Good evening, my name's Matt McGuire. I live on Youngtown Road. Been in the town for 4 years now, and I was encouraged to come tonight to introduce myself. My intent is to run for the select board, so pretty excited about that, and I was encouraged to come and check out the meeting and learn a little bit about how things work, and so that's what I'm here for tonight, and just hoping I can help the town. I love living here with my 2 boys, my wife, and I don't really want to live anywhere else ever. It's my plan to be here a long time, and we'd like to help keep the town as great as it already is. So that's kind of what I'm here for.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Josh.
So the only one reason I'm here tonight.
Start with your name.
Oh, Josh Beveridge, Beveridge Farm Road. Reason I'm here is I'm on the Rex Commission and I wanted to shed some light. I'm not sure if you all know, but we have done all the numbers extensively. We should be having a quorum right now, but as you can tell, I'm the person. So what I wanted to say was, I know that with everything we're very busy, but I'd like to try and push a charge to you folks to see whom you may want to be a part of our commission and how we can try and meld that so that it's better receptive by everyone. It's been a slight struggle the year that I've been to try and get things moving because we just don't have people to do so. And then being in other commissions and seeing how involvement in that kind of makes things go much more smoothly. So.
Excellent. Turn your statement.
How many are you down to on the commission right now, as far as members?
3 and an alternate.
3 active and 1 alternate.
Correct.
Okay, so you can't even have a meeting and have a quorum. Okay, all right.
Thank
Thank you very much for coming. I think we've talked about that a couple of meetings ago, when the last resignation came in, and help is on the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else for a non-agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 2, the administrator's report.
Excuse me, a couple of things. The item number 7, if anybody's here for that, the MDOT community-based initiatives. Mr. Horry reached out today and said he was unfortunately unable to attend, and we rescheduled for the 23rd. Roads are posted for weight limits. Spring is upon us, and so is mud. We're aware, we're monitoring all the roads, and we'll do what we can to get people in and out, but it's going to be an interesting spring, I suspect. Just so the board knows, I also fielded a call today concerning some noise that occurred on Green Acre Road over the weekend. for about 5 or 6 hours. You addressed it before. The person was very frustrated about their quality of life and wanted to know if there was anything new or different that could be done. And the answer is not locally from the town.
Right.
Nomination papers are available during normal business hours here at the town office. We have seats on the select board, Lincolnville School Committee, and the Budget Commission. Those have to be returned by April 10th, 4:30, with at least 25 signatures and no more than 100. And finally, the Waldo County budget is been moved on by the Budget Committee to the next phase, which will be a public hearing that is tentatively set for Friday, March 27th at 6 p.m., but that should be finalized here in the coming days, but that's a tentative date.
Any questions for David? Seeing none, we'll move on to meetings and announcements.
All meetings are here in the town office unless announced otherwise. The Budget Committee meets Tuesday, March 10th, 6 p.m. Conservation Commission is scheduled to meet Thursday, March 12th, 4 p.m. The School Committee has a budget workshop on Wednesday, March 18th, 6 p.m. at the school. The Select Board meet next in regular session on Monday, March 23rd, 6 p.m.
Okay, and are there any upcoming community events? Seeing none, we'll move on. This is a hybrid meeting with Robin Tarantino attending remotely, so all votes will need to be a roll call vote. We'll move on to meeting minutes. For a motion.
I move the board approve the February 23rd, 2026 meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
member Ray.
Yes.
Member Tarantino,
Yes.
and my vote is yes. Next up, we have board committee commission appointment. And Sarah Tisney Black, interested in the Wage and Personnel Policy Board. Could you come up and introduce yourself to, in case everybody doesn't know you and people that might be online as well.
I'm Sarah Kotuzny Black. I have lived in Lincolnville for just about 25 years. We bought a house on Beach Road 25 years ago and have raised our family, our 3 boys. I live there with my husband, Greg, and he's run a successful business through our home. And we're just very happy in this community and are very proud to live here. So I'm happy to help in any way that I can. And I do have professional expertise in personnel management and, how to come by a attendance policy and everything that comes with managing and leading the efforts of others. So if there is anything that I can add of benefit to this committee, I'd be happy and honored to do so.
Excellent. Any questions for Sarah?
No.
Seeing none, I would look for a motion.
I move that the board appoint Sarah Kotuzny Black as a regular member to the Wage and Personnel Board with a term expiring June 2027.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Seeing none. Member Doug, a vote.
Yes.
Member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
Yes.
and my vote is yes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Sarah.
you.
Awesome to get more people involved.
Yes.
Okay, as David stated, we're moving past item number 7, that's tabled, on to item number 8 regarding an exterior site lighting plan for the Lincolnville Community Library.
Evening. I'm John Williams. I'm a volunteer at the library. And You should have a summary of why I'm here. I'll just read the first two sentences for folks who don't have that right in front of them. So the overview, the Lincolnville Community Library is seeking the select board's approval to proceed with a comprehensive exterior lighting upgrade. The project aims to rectify a long-standing safety deficit in the library's 60-foot by 60-foot parking lot, while ensuring the facility meets Maine's new dark sky statutes, that's LD 1934, well ahead of the October 2026 deadline. So we want to put lights in the parking lot, probably on 10-foot poles. We think 2 will be sufficient. Some regulations I've seen online say the minimum is 0.1 to 0.2 foot candles on the ground for safety. And that means like a full moon, a clear sky, that much light. They say people can see their keys, they can identify other people's faces and so on. So I was online trying to design it, like how much light do you need and where should you put the poles and so on and so forth. So I found an online calculator, a layout calculator, and use that, and it shows the foot candles on the ground, and you can tweak it and fool with it and say, oh, okay, this might work. And then that company that has the online calculator is a light manufacturer, and that's RAB Lighting. And I saw they have a grant program. So the library was going to do this before they found out there's possibility to get some grant funding to at least help with the costs. So we've applied for that grant. We had to go through Gilman Electrical Supply in Rockland. We can't submit directly to the manufacturer. They just have their distributors do that. So this project would involve no funding from the town. Yep. So library is looking for approval from the board since the library doesn't own the land that the building sits on. It's your property.
Excellent. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Any questions from the board? Sure.
John, has there been any, I have 2 questions. Has there been any talk with the neighbors recently about this? And any opinion of that? And probably this question should be asked first. When will the lights be on?
Well,
To
I think just when they're needed. So we have options.
I mean-
Yeah, we can put them on motion sensors. Or we can just say, well, we're gonna have a program this Wednesday night. It's gonna adjourn at 8:30 p.m. Library will close, so the lights will go off. The lights have a connectivity, either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and an app, and it's real easy to program them.
okay.
So if anybody complains, we'll just change a little bit to accommodate.
Has there been any preliminary conversations with the abutting property owners about any of them?
Karen's on the library board. I'm not, so
So is that a no? Okay. Thank you.
let me ask, should we?
John, I was looking for a graph.
There is a picture.
Oh, I thought you invented the graph. That's
Oh.
I'm used to graph with you.
Other
Thank
questions?
you.
Yeah, the lights will be fairly dim and they're sharp cut off, so just the ground. They're gonna be similar to like at the beach, those lights.
Other questions?
Pretty comprehensive presentation, so I feel
The package was great.
confident, yeah.
There's no other questions, so I would entertain a motion.
I move that the board approve the installation of exterior lighting at the library as proposed by the Lincolnville Community Library, contingent upon the Lincolnville Community Library also obtaining any necessary land use approvals from the planning board, and that this motion be recorded in the minutes as written approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
Member Lee,
Yes.
Member Ray.
Yes.
Member Tarantino,
Yes.
and my vote is yes.
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Very much. Looking forward to that project coming along. Next on our agenda, we have a discussion about potential FY 2025 disaster supplemental grant program. Okay.
Yeah, so in our efforts to look for money opportunities, as Steve said, an FY 25 disaster supplemental grant program is being administered by the U.S. Economic Development Administration to address things that were damaged in the 2023 and 2024 storms that FEMA may not have either fully funded or that could be improved to be more resilient in the future, which is not something that FEMA usually does. FEMA puts you back together the way you were. We met with, when I say Matt, I mean Matt and I met with Catherine Trippiani about the pier and the boat launching ramp and our newly acquired parcel of land adjacent to the boat launching ramp to see if it could fit in the program. She gave us a preliminary, quite possibly. There is quite an application process that goes with this. We provided to Catherine the number of documents. The primary one that was the Wood report that was done in 2019 and finished in 2020, which talked about resiliency of the structures and the need for the pier ultimately to be raised to be more resilient. And she thought that fell clearly into the implementation path category and encouraged us, if that was something we wish to pursue, to apply. It is an 80-20 project, 80% federal funds, 20% non-federal funds. They call it, some places they call it local match. They don't really have a preference where it comes from, except it can't be additional federal monies. It's a pricey endeavor, as you can imagine. We're probably, if we included the whole project there or the various components, we're looking at probably a $4 or $5 million project, which means 1 million locally or non-federally funded. And before we invested time and effort in pursuing $4 million, when it puts us on the hook, or not on the hook for $1 million, but starts us down that road, we thought we'd best have a conversation here. We certainly can continue to look for other opportunities to fund that 20%, but at some point, you know, the piling, everything down there except for part of the deck is 35 years old. At some point, you're going to be replacing pilings. We already talked about cross bracing during the budget time. And that's kind of where we started with Catherine, was, you know, to see if it would fund that. And she said it's too small. And they're looking to do bigger things that are more resilient and also that either create or maintain jobs.
What's their time frame? As far as is this a revolving program or
it's open now, and the program is going to remain open until either all the money is committed or until somebody at some higher level than Catherine decides that the program is no longer available. So we're really, I think if we were to pursue this, we'd probably be looking at some sort of local authorization. Haven't quite got all the way through the ins and outs of the program yet. Maybe at a vote in November, but it would be contingent upon, obviously, monies being approved elsewhere. If that makes any sense.
Is this one where to apply, you have to show you already have the commitment? Or you have X amount of time after the approval to get the
Before you sign on obviously, before you sign on a grant agreement that says we're gonna proceed with this, you need to have committed the non-federal share,
Mhm.
but you can apply as long as you can demonstrate that you're moving towards trying to find the non-federal share. So there's no,
Okay.
the only quote unquote downside I can see at this moment is that it will require some time and effort.
Questions?
Would, sorry,
Oh, you're good.
would like state grants
That can be,
consider,
nope, oh, yes.
okay,
As long as the state grant isn't something that the federal gave to the state
yeah,
and the state distributes to the locals.
okay,
If it's state monies, I won't say, like I said before, it's not that they don't care, but they don't have a preference as long as it's not additional federal money. They want you to have a skin in the game, so to speak.
and you said that it wouldn't be restricted such as FEMA funds that require you to build in kind, so we could go back to some of the recommendations in the Wood report that suggest raising it.
Yeah, they definitely don't want you to build in kind.
Okay, great,
They want whatever you're doing to be a more resilient structure.
okay, and then the final
Yeah.
question slash thought is, even if we couldn't get any additional grants, if we say bonded this out, that figure would, I'm thinking, work out to less than what we're probably gonna have to start spending annually on limping the existing structure, right? Am I,
Well, you certainly, I
Roughly
mean,
in the
you're
ballpark.
already faced with cross bracing. The recent inspection report identified some challenges with some of the piling. I don't know if you got decking that we didn't replace 5 years ago or 6 years ago now, when we did the main pier, on the access way in. There are certainly some expenses up ahead of us in the future for sure. Whether or not it would be a 1-for-1 match,
but potentially we could also roll the redevelopment of the boat ramp parking area into this project
yes,
as a,
the parking area might be a little more challenging. We didn't get a good definitive on that. If we can relate it to economic development and jobs.
Mhm.
And again, it doesn't have to be new jobs. It can be retention of existing, which obviously we have a number of people that fish there, and we have a number of people that go to Owlsboro on a daily basis that work across our pier.
okay,
So kind of stepping back a little bit, we know that the cross racing definitely is going to need to be taken care of in the very near future. We've had conversations about raising the pier for resiliency. Does that mean take it completely off of pylons, put new pylons on and rebuild the pier? Is that what that means?
Pretty much.
Okay, so it makes no sense to me to patch and then 3 to 5 years down the road, remove everything, because we're not gonna patch with just strapping. We're gonna patch it with something that's made there to last. I think this is something that we do more research sooner than later, and maybe get our hands on a grant or something. I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks. I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of the wild card here, I think, but looking forward, that's infrastructure, the town infrastructure, but the other thing is we have people making a living now. And not only that, we've got another whole town counting on that pier being functional.
Yeah.
Or some part of it being functional while we're working on it. So there's a lot of logistical things going on there. And we really want to. I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't want to make a launching ramp better. And we've got an area there for potential parking. So I think that's something we should, doesn't that sound right?
Oh, yeah.
100%, totally.
Shouldn't we be moving on that?
I can't see not pursuing this at this stage.
Yep.
Doing the additional research we need to get to the point where we can make a final decision with the townspeople and see what the actual impact looks like.
Mhm.
Rob's has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, Robin.
Um, uh, just to clarify, in my memory, I thought we had some money in a reserve for pier/boat ramp.
Approximately $100,000.
Okay, thanks. And yeah, I totally am in support of pursuing this.
Yeah, I would like to throw in my support. I agree with Kern 100%. The only caution I would raise is that the more we expand it into the boat ramp, into the parking, the higher the price tags will be.
Sure.
And we've got to make clear, that we're clear on that from the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, and the corollary to that though is that if we were looking at trying to separately raise funds for that, it gives us a really good opportunity to sort of put all of the financial and logistical cards
Oh, yeah.
on the table.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sure. Come on up.
I'm not here for this reason, but it raised some good point or some questions in my mind. So in terms of gaining funds from the state, what is the, what's the burden of validation on the award winner or the grant winners in validating the source of the funds? If the state were to grant Lincolnville the money for that, how do we verify, or are we obligated to verify the source of that money?
Yeah, we'll have to identify the sources of our local or non-federal share. Before or while we're accepting the grant. And that's subject to, I mean, the grant offer is going to be contingent, obviously, on us signing probably a, it's a document type of thing. And one of the contingencies is going to be where that money's coming from. So we'll have to certify that it's not additional federal money or meets their program. And we'll in turn ask everybody else that we can possibly get some money from to verify to us where that's coming from. If that makes any sense.
It does. I just think that's something that should be carefully considered, because
Yeah.
the way money can get moved around from an allocation perspective, having managed big budgets, it's easy for the water to get muddy, and it would be really unfortunate for the taxpayers if we find out that that grant that covered the building expense 20% doesn't qualify, and there's suddenly a bond issue that has to be raised.
Yeah, and we wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay.
We wouldn't.
So the second point to that is the structural integrity of I'm not an engineer, but my son is. I'm not an engineer, but the structural integrity when you introduce new material that is superior and more resilient can actually cause further deterioration of the material around it and cause further damage. So I appreciate the point that you were making of sooner than later, but is there work that needs to be done immediately for the safety of the structures?
Well, we regularly, routinely have the pier infrastructure surveyed by structural engineers, and we were just returned the most recent and called out were a number of items that will need to be addressed soon, but not immediately. They're not necessarily critical, but in the next year or two should be addressed.
Okay, so there is time then before work is commenced that could cause more damage in the long run. Okay. And then the last question is around the resilience of the waterfront. The infrastructure to and from Islesboro is the main source of income for a lot of Lincolnville families. And so that is, the execution of that, I'm sure will need to be thoughtful and careful so that the ferry can still operate, everything can still move along in a manner of fashion to be able to safely execute the project, but also make sure that people can move to and from the island. The waterfront, though, in Lincolnville is in distress just from the amount of impact from storms over the last few years. 2023 specifically was an especially terrible year. And it's impacting business, the desirability of people to move businesses to our area, which is not only unfortunate, but it impacts our ability to do projects like we're talking about. Has consideration been made in terms of some type of work being done along the immediate waterfront so that Route 1 is not flooded, which is, I would think, a state problem that they would want to invest in, but equally important that the businesses along that low point in the road for about 1,000 feet are protected better than they are today, which would include the bridge.
We're still pending an application through the state of Maine, through the Community Resilience Program, to look at the beach from basically the ferry terminal through past where the Whale's Tooth used to be, in inland up Brook, or whatever you want to call it, the Frohawk. And to look at the resiliency of that area of town. And we've got quite a grant application with talking to the business group and the LIA and all the various stakeholders about, in DOT and the utilities, about getting together and creating a more resilient waterfront. Because, as you said, there's plenty of water there.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us really want to live through the January 10th and 13th storms again of 2024.
For sure.
Yeah, we went last year through a process of evaluating a variety of different resilience issues around town, be it flooding from streams and brooks to waterfront to extreme temperature events. And the final decision was to put that effort towards the resilience of the waterfront from a potential grant funding sources, etc.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
Anything further on this? Robin? Oh, your hand's still up. That's all. There we go. Cool. David, do you have what you need?
Yeah,
I think
except for time, but we'll get on to it.
I think we're a go.
Hey,
not a
Matt,
no-go.
go. Yep,
It's not as big.
Yes, yes.
It's all good.
Absolutely. Okay. Moving on to item number 10. This is the public's time to come up and provide input on the FY27 budget. Anybody want to speak at budget related items? Seeing none, we'll move ahead to item number 11. We'll be making our recommendations for it.
so we took the consensus direction from your last meeting and incorporated it within the budget and created a new draft, which is excuse me, dated February 24th, just to make sure we're all still working from the same draft. The one issue that's been determined since you last met that is not included in the draft of your recommendations is regarding provider agencies. The budget committee has made their recommendations which is included on that 24th draft. Just can't find the right page or flip around. But eventually we have to work through this whole thing. anyway, So I just wanted to point that out to you so you were aware. Somewhere in here.
Yeah, page 23.
Thank you. I should have just looked at the table of contents, which is my first page. I didn't.
See, the budget committee has already made their recommendations.
Yeah.
which are pretty darn good. Okay. So I think our process should be go through each section and at the conclusion of each section, unless there may be some sections where we want to come back to, but for the ones we can, let's get through them and with a motion as to our recommendation. We'll start off on page 4 with administration and finance.
I went back through everything with the desire to try to pull out anything that it doesn't seem that we really truly need. And I know we had left an iPad in here for a certain guinea pig trial of select board members using iPads instead of a binder, but I'm going to throw out there the idea of just zeroing out that project for this year.
I'm personally fine with that.
Well, what I will say is this will be the 3rd year in a row. And at some point, we need to move into the future. And we have had .gov email addresses for 3 years now, two and a half.
Yeah.
I'm not using one.
No.
I don't want it on my personal computer, and I feel there's no reason this town can't step forward. If you don't keep up with technology, it's gonna bite you. So that's all I got to say about that, and I understand. I don't think this is a case where the almighty dollar is gonna break this town to do the right thing. So I'm sorry, that sounds a little rough, but it's my opinion. Sorry.
Okay. I got an opinion on that too as well.
Yeah.
I tend to think it's the right thing to do as well. And but I look at more as cost saving for the staff than anything else. And
absolutely.
that's the way I look at it. And I don't want to get personal and point out the days driving around delivering paper copies. And I don't think the town should be locked into having to do that. So I tend to think, I mean, it's a pain in the butt. But so is paper.
So the reason I agreed lately is 1 is useless compared to 5. And 5, I'm not prepared to put in the budget.
I can hear that, yeah.
Because I agree with your thing. I don't want David driving the houses. I don't want the time it takes to do these things. But we originally talked about 5 of them probably being 3+ thousand or more
Yeah.
with the accessories. And so that's why, for me, doing 1 just doesn't, even though I was the one that originally said what about a pilot a few weeks ago. I just don't, more I've thought about it, I don't feel it solves anything.
Well, I hear you, but the town's gonna have to do it eventually.
Yes,
Yeah, there's no question.
I don't disagree there.
Yeah.
Robin, any preference there?
No. I tend to agree with Mike that, maybe we just need to jump and do it because none of us is really gung-ho about it is part of why I think we should do it. Just, it's always going to be easy to say, well, let's put it off 1 more year. That's all.
Does do it mean add the full amount back?
Yeah, just make us all get used to using a tablet. Although I'm not running for reelection, so you could say that I don't have a horse in the, a dog in this fight, whatever that's called, but I think kind of like the same thing with the pier. We should just sooner's better than later, and we're not talking, we're talking maybe 5 or 6,000 once all is said and done, right? We're not talking.
It isn't just the expense of, of pushing this forward. It's the savings in the office. It's the savings
Yes,
on paper. It's not, and over a year, the savings is gonna be huge. If you compare hours, if you compare paper, and it isn't just a select board meeting that you get paper. How much would I take down to Midco Solid Waste once all, I mean, it is, I am constantly printing stuff like that out. And I might add, that's coming out of my pocket because I'm not coming to the town office to do that. So, I'm not gonna die on this hill by any means, and if it's the thought of the board that this is not worth it, that's fine, we'll move on.
Sounds like you got the board with you there, buddy.
We've worked very hard to move ahead collectively, whether we argue, whether we had different over the last 8.5 years that I've been here anyway. And we've always been united. And I think what bothers me is the people who, the members that have been here a while. My personal opinion is I don't think you can see the forest for the trees when it comes to this. We got to move forward. And I'm done talking about it, and we put it to a vote and it passes, that's fine. If we don't, that's fine too.
can I just add, I'm kind of persuaded, I feel as though our budget is in good shape this year. We're not looking at an onerous increase in the budget. And so it's not like we're looking for every $3,000 or $4,000 we can save. I feel like that sounds kind of like I'm being profligate, but no, I just think it's a good use of this money, and this is a good time to do it, especially with the extra staff time that's going to go into that grant for the pier and probably some other grants we might be looking at. So that's all. I'll mute now.
Only thing I will add there is I can't disagree more with, we're in a good budget here. I mean, municipally, yes, but county, no, education, no. And so what we do with this municipal budget is nothing compared to the overall number, but everything counts. So I guess I'd look for a motion for how we have a current number that includes 1. We could pull out that, or we could add in the 5. I'd look for a motion for a number for select board recommendation.
I would move in a pilot of 1 that I think is reflected in this budget as it is now, and not go to the 5. Phase it in, as it were.
Which that's in the 730,990.
Yeah,
So is that a motion?
that's a motion of moving it in. Yeah, I don't know what the
Okay.
wording would be. I'm going with that wording.
Okay. Is there a second on that?
So just to be clear, the motion is for moving the amount of 730,990 for administration and finance, which includes a pilot program.
Correct.
Okay.
That's my motion, yeah.
Okay. I'll second it for the sake of discussion.
Okay. We are moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I'm curious, just your thoughts on having just like being willing to be the pilot program, or are you more feeling like you'd rather just commit to the program. move forward.
I'm pretty disappointed. I really am. And I'm not gonna look at that. Sorry.
Okay, any other discussion on the motion that's on the floor? Seeing none, all in favor?
Now you're gonna have to do a roll call because.
That's true, sorry,
So
sorry.
what are we voting
The
for?
motion is what's in the packet of $730,990, which includes one tablet.
Yeah, which is what we had talked about
Okay.
last time.
All right, I was confused. All
Yeah.
right. Let's vote.
Okay. Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
No,
and my vote is yes. So motion passes. Okay. Moving ahead to animal control, page 6. Anyone want to make a motion on this page?
I move $12,105 for protection animal control.
Moved, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, any further discussion?
So we talked about this. Is this a fair amount more the stipend? Is that a fair amount more than COLA?
Yes,
It's-
Yeah.
COLA is 3.1 or whatever it is now.
2.8.
3 point, okay, this is 16.3.
Right.
That, am I reading that correctly? Yeah, okay.
You are.
Right.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's considerably more. Yeah.
What does everybody, I want to hear what everybody thinks about that.
Looking at the history on this one, I don't have an issue with that and what she's been submitting for detail, et cetera, on a regular basis and the job she's doing for us.
Okay.
That's where I sit.
Yeah, for myself, yeah, I'm weekly or whenever we meet, I'm impressed with the detail of her reports and how much work she's putting into it. She's putting in an awful lot of hours for the town of Lincolnville, it seems to me.
Okay. Any other discussion? Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray.
Yes,
Member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Okay, page 7, protection, fire department. Look for a motion. Unless it's, well. Any discussion first?
We did-
The adjustment had been made to pull out the 3,900, and that's been moved to capital improvements. That we discussed the last meeting.
I'll move. The $215,965.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes,
member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Moving forward to page number 9, protection other. There's no change from this from our original discussions. Fourth last time. Is there a discussion points or a motion?
I move $242,910 for protection other.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray.
yes,
Member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Page number 10, town office building. Any recommendation? Motion here.
I'm $36,976 for town office building.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
Yes,
and my vote is yes. Page number 11, contingency.
Move $10,000 for contingency.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I did a quick calculation on this and we're looking at a few thousand here or there. I'm not sure if it's wise, but 5K is the, I think it's 4,700 is what comes out as the median as you go across that. So I was of the view that if we were looking to squeeze something somewhere, 5K would cover it. But that said, Chair Dunn. I mean, sorry, Chair Dunn. Member Dunn.
Yes.
Member Lee.
Yes.
Member Ray.
Okay, so we're voting on 10 grand.
Yes.
I'd say yes.
Member Tarantino.
yes,
And my vote is yes.
I waffled on that, so.
Yeah.
But.
Yep. One to at least put it forth.
Mm-hmm.
Page number 12, code enforcement. For a motion.
I move $61,512 for code enforcement.
Second.
Yeah.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none. Member Dunn.
Yes.
Member Lee.
Yes.
Member Ray.
Yes.
Member Tarantino.
yes,
And my vote is yes. Page number 13, assessing. For a motion.
I move $42,500 for assessing.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I have one question which I should know the answer to, but I don't off the top of my head. How many years? We're 1 year into a multi-year contract. This would be year 2.
This would be year 2, but we don't have a multi-year contract. We do an annual.
Okay. Thank you. So for the motion of 42.5, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Page number 14, public works, highways and bridges. Promotion.
Best number yet. I move $1,311,328 for public works, highways and bridges.
Second.
Moved and well seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Moving on to page 16, Public Works Transfer Station permission.
Never need that.
You want me to?
Well, you worked so
I-
hard on it.
Yeah, right. I move $97,330 to Public Works Transfer Station.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Public Works Harbor on page 17. Promotion.
I move $32,050 to Public Works Harbor.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Lee,
Yes.
Member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
Yes,
and my vote is yes. Page 18, Public Works Other.
I move for Public Works other $84,550.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
yes,
my vote is yes. Boards and committees on page 19. Promotion.
I move $14,184 for boards and committees.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Page 20, municipal support. Discussion item.
Yeah, after lengthy conversation with the chair of the cemetery committee, he indicated it would not be detrimental to their overall forward progress to drop that number to 8. So reduction by 2,000.
So that would move the total line to $28,205.
Chair may add something apparently,
Sure. Yes, you may.
even though the public had an opportunity.
The public had an opportunity. This is, we think that we can move forward. We know things are tough, but that extra 2,000 could certainly work well on those iPads.
Your sacrifice for our advancement. What's that? Your sacrifice for our advancement. We agree.
I used to do this with Kathy Hattie. We used to trade things back and forth.
There we go.
Well, don't you come
Okay.
looking like roses.
So do we have a motion for municipal support?
Any other changes there? Just mine. So I will move $28,205 with the reduction in the cemeteries line to $8,000 under municipal support.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. Moving on to page 23, provider agencies. Note from where I sit, I believe the budget committee did a good job at reviewing these. I'm in concurrence with their recommendation, but I would look for a motion.
I moved $9,483 for provider agencies.
Any seconds?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I wasn't at the budget committee hearing on that, so I don't know why. This may be not the appropriate time to question this, but do we know why when the request for the Walter County woodshed was $1,000? Their budget committee. Oh, no, they did recommend $1,000. Okay, I'm reading the wrong line. Never mind.
Okay.
Looking at the wrong column. Withdraw that question.
Okay. This has been moved and seconded, and let's move on to a vote. Chair, I mean, that member done.
What's going on, Steve?
I'm moving away.
Yes.
Used to it over the years. Yeah. Member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino. You're on mute.
yes, sorry.
Okay, thank you. And my vote is yes. Thank you. Okay. Capital improvement program on page 24. We need to discuss, in my opinion, the harbor improvement line
Yes.
and what we feel is absolutely required, considering the report we have from the survey, but also the discussion we had earlier regarding potential grants, etc., for replacement per se of facilities down there. So I'd welcome thoughts on that.
I'm of the mind to zero out the harbor improvement number, but potentially may ask the voters for a contribution to the harbor savings fund in amount.
And historically, if it's not spent and it's in the harbor improvement line, it goes to the harbor savings.
Yes.
So my suggestion was going to be basically leaving $10,000 in that line from as we had last year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And if we need it, we need it, but if we don't, it flows into the harbor savings account. And allows us to give us the time to figure out how we're moving forward with this grant. And if we have to next year, we can tackle that if it doesn't look like there's another path and we have the funds in the harbor savings. So we're not abdicating our duty to keep the infrastructure taken care of. We're being wise about our funds. We have the funds available to us without impacting in any great way the taxpayers.
And David, if the voters support us in approving $10,000 for harbor improvements and something happens that exceeds any repairs down there at the harbor, we do have the ability to use harbor savings to cover.
Wait a minute. If anything exceeds harbor savings, we have the ability to use harbor.
The improvements. So if we put $10,000 in for harbor improvements. And something happens down there and we need to do a repair on the infrastructure. It costs $11,000.
You have harbor savings or you have the special town meeting.
Yeah. Okay. That was I just wanted to, that we can rely on harbor savings.
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, David, just can you let us know how much exactly is in harbor savings right now?
$108,000.
108?
Some change.
Okay.
That's the number you gave us the last meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I'd written it down.
I was gonna say, you got a good memory. Yeah.
Can I,
What was our initial thought
Our initial was
that, oops, I'm sorry.
go finish current. No.
What was our initial thought with the number that's in it?
The 90,000 was the number that was, if we did the repairs that were quoted based on the report we got, and we would take 50 grand out of our savings account to do that.
Yeah, which is
So that would be 140,000.
No.
No.
50 grand plus.
There would be 90 and we would be paying for it with 50 grand going into the revenue lines
Okay.
out of our savings.
So it would have been net 40 to our taxpayers. It would be raised.
I just don't want to, we have been the recipients of what happens with deferred maintenance on other issues around town. I don't want us to get caught and not be able to do what we need to do. And we say, okay, well, we can put this maintenance, we can defer this maintenance. We're in a good spot as far as our infrastructure is all concerned. And we're working on when does this building need to be shingled, you know, all of that. So I don't want to get in trouble. And And I'm not saying we're gonna be by doing it that way, but I feel that I was put here to say that.
I totally respect that. If we didn't have harbor savings that were already gonna cover a chunk of it, and if we didn't have this grant opportunity that got thrown at us that we need to research further, that would be,
Yeah.
in some regards, it would feel like we're spending money to throw it away. If we
If we
do something in a
did.
year or two, we're doing something major.
Yeah.
That's my only, otherwise I'd be like, yep, we have to do this, and that's why I think it was already in our plan.
Mhm.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
So if we drop, if we drop that from 90 to 10, that brings the total line in capital improvement to 218,900. Robin?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we were going to drop the revenue in the harbor savings reserve down.
We haven't gotten there yet, but yes.
No, I know, but I just wanted to bring it up. You did finally bring it up in the discussion, but I just wanted to make sure that we were talking about that and realizing we were
Yeah.
talking a net 40 and not a 90, and that's
Yeah.
all. Okay.
Correct,
So it brings it to 218,900.
correct. Unless there's any other changes to
Yeah.
suggest.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would look for a motion.
I'll move $218,900 with reference to reducing the harbor improvement number to 10,000.
We have a motion,
I'll second.
we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
Member Lee,
Yes.
Member Ray,
Yes.
Member Tarantino.
Yes,
My vote is yes. Okay. Moving forward to page 25, debt service. An option here, so
I move $19,000 for debt service.
Second.
moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
Member Lee,
Yes.
Member Ray,
Yes.
Member Tarantino,
yes,
and my vote is yes. And moving on to page 26, our final page. Have to do some math on the top. I believe on the top section for the gross municipal budget total, we have dropped 80,000. We just did from
82.
we dropped 2,997. That's a question, David, on the provider agencies that we have to drop that 2997 from that number too, right?
You have to add,
Oh, okay, you hadn't, okay, that was,
your
Because it was there.
recommendations were blank at that point.
okay. And we have to add 2,997.
Whoop,
what? Isn't it 9,000?
Oh, okay, I was going the other way around. Okay, yep, yes, sorry, you're correct.
12,840?
Add the 9483.
Right.
And then we subtract the $2,000 from cemetery.
That's an overall reduction of 72,517.
That sounds right.
But then we need to pull out harbor state.
If we stay at the top right now, the
Okay,
gross
okay.
municipal budget. Then, just so we can be. I get a number, 3,167,989.
That's what I get.
What's that number?
$3,167,989. I don't believe we need to per se vote on that line because.
I would encourage you not to, no offense, in case you've made an error on the fly of adding. and
Yeah, all the
subtracting.
others is what adds up to that. Okay. Cool. Moving on to the revenue budget and offsets. We have one definite change to make, and that is the $50,000 line from Harbor Savings would get zeroed out. So that would decrease the total revenue budget offsets line to $1,804,000. $1,804,252.
252,
252. correct.
252.
Any other items or motion on total revenue budget offsets?
You want a motion on revenue?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make that motion, reduction, reflecting zeroing out the Harbor Savings Reserve revenues at $1,804,252.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
Member Lake,
Yes.
Member Ray,
Yes.
Member Tarantino,
Yes,
and my vote is yes. Okay. Let's go see real quick.
Gold star for sticking around though.
Yeah, really. That is a 2.4% expense budget increase for the year as our recommendation.
What's that again, Steve?
2.4% on the gross municipal budget line. To my math,
Yes.
however good that may be. And then 176.16. 2.1% increase in the total revenue budget offsets line. And then we have a total net to be raised by my math of $1,363,737. Which is $2.7% net to be raised increase for municipal budget. All subject to corrections that the staff may make. Fix anything with the best of.
Has anybody had any conversation with the school?
We attended, several of us attended their meeting the other night where they
Yes.
discuss the budget. They are moving forward in 2 courses of action. The superintendent is going to do a 0% budget increase which would still mean an 11-ish% overall increase because of changes to the funding formula and our town valuation. Which is not our assessment, it's the state's assessment of our town. And he is also doing a net budget reduction, which would still yield a 9.5% impact to taxpayers. And they're going to be bringing that forward at their next meeting.
Yeah, or they're gonna. On the 18th, Wednesday, the 18th, right? Yeah, they'll have those two different scenarios present.
Okay. I'm very happy with how we did there.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a $36,710 increase over our last year's budget.
Very, very reasonable. And at 2.7%, it's basically identical to inflation.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, we have select person updates. Lily.
I was only going to recap the workshop that the select board and budget committee were invited to for the presentation of the I think it was the first public presentation of the budget. And while the presentation started off by saying that they're only asking for a 3.2% raise, that didn't include, as Steve said, the drastic reduction in revenues, which the budget as it sat presented to that group was 15.3% increase, or $643,000 to the taxpayers, which I don't know, roughly would equate to 7% direct increase to taxpayers-ish. And so after some discussion, they asked their administrators to go back and run two different scenarios, zeroing out the budget, which is cutting out whatever increases over last year. And then a reduction to a 9% overall increase. It was 9 even.
9.5.
Yeah, 9.5, thank you. Yeah, so whatever that means, but it's still, I mean, we're still talking about $400 and something odd $1,000 more than what they asked us for last year. So
At that rate, it's pretty much all a matter of how much revenue share or how much funding we get from the state.
yeah, but as I said at that workshop, if you look at the local funds to be raised, there's an even trajectory. Every single year they've asked for more and more, regardless of what the subsidies are. They have asked for more and more and more and more. So my question is that even if they zero out the budget to an 11% increase, are we really looking that it's costing us $643,000 more to operate the school at the same budget as last year? So that's my update.
So just ask a question about that right there. The same budget as last year, but we've got $400 and odd thousand that's got to be factored into that. They pulled the trigger on work that needed to be done to furnaces, things of that nature. They couldn't get finance to do that. Is that put in?
It is.
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
It's
Is
90.
$97,000.
Okay,
Of that is in there.
okay, good, I guess. But the other thing, what about maintenance on the building? I mean, there's stuff coming up.
The maintenance plan, what, I was gonna cover in my update. Is we
I'm
had, so no problem, that's a great question, and we're all in that stage of the discussion here. The facilities committee met recently, and our recommendation would be based on. There's now a facilities maintenance plan. That plan is going
Thank you
forward to
very
the school committee for their consideration and their understanding. It also is going to recommend that they put $50,000 a year into a facilities maintenance program.
And does that
Fine.
start this year?
That is not included in that new budget that just came out.
This,
And and as we discussed amongst ourselves, so we tell them to put zero in because we know this. It's like, no, we need to tell the school committee, as the facilities committee, you need to put $50,000 a year aside to plan for the future maintenance of the school, the roof, et cetera, et cetera. What they'll do this year, they'll have to figure out what to do, but it's in front of their face.
interesting. Thank you.
Member Late,
Sorry about that.
any update?
The only thing that I wanted to mention is I just wanted to say about the budget for Nico Solid Waste. It would be another flat budget if our state
Valuation.
valuation for this town hadn't changed.
Mm,
And I think Hope may have changed.
They all changed, but we changed at a greater rate than the others.
Yes, we did. So we're pretty proud of that as to how that place runs down there. And it's, what is this, 6 years now? Been a flat budget, so that's pretty good.
mhm.
So
Agree. Mike?
Got your hand up?
Back to school for just a second
Yeah.
no, you can't. No, I just wondered about the audit. You didn't make any comment about an audit.
So of giving select person updates, which is not an open running dialogue.
Then you shouldn't ask me out.
About
I apologize for that, Rosie. Sorry about that. Yeah. So it's my turn as well. So, yeah. Okay, I just want to let people know that the MOCA, the main office of community affairs, community assistance, I cannot remember, is finally up and running after 2 years. So they are functionally staffed. Anyway, I would encourage everyone just to go to their website and look at all the resources they have. I mean, they are, as the current administration planned, the go-to resource for municipalities to find out technical assistance, grant writing opportunities along the grant lines. And if the board wants, I could certainly arrange for a representative from MOCA to come down to the future meeting and introduce themselves, as it were, because they can explain what they do much better than I can. But it's something that I think this town might want to take advantage, should take advantage of. What's happened with MOCA is a lot of the agencies that we normally go to individually for information have been rolled into that one telephone number, basically. Yeah. So anyway, just want to let you guys know that.
Robin?
I don't have an update.
And I don't have anything else other than what we've already. So, moving on to the treasurers and payroll warrants.
I move that the board approve and sign the treasurer's and payroll warrants.
second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
member Ray,
Yes.
member Tarantino,
Yes,
and my vote is yes. And we have one last motion.
Did we miss the?
No?
I read it in my most sterling
You read
oratory.
that back for me?
No, I'm not gonna do that. You're not getting it.
Missed it.
Well, it's just, you might want to read it and reflect on it, you know?
I will do what I can.
Mm,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Moved and seconded. I don't think any discussion is required. Member Dunn,
Yes.
member Late,
Yes.
Member Ray.
Yes.
Member Tarantino,
Yes,
and my vote is yes. Thank you very much.
Before I shut the streaming up, Robin, if you're down this way, I can use the signature for you for the Waldo County Fire Mutual Aid Agreement.
got it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. I'm gonna end this.